This summer, I went on a small road trip up to Kuopio, which is located in the mid-ish region of Finland called Pohjois-Savo. The population is a bit over 100,000 and it is the ninth most populous city in Finland. Technically speaking, this is the city where I'm from, although before this trip I had zero memory of the place, as we did move to America when I was very young, and I hadn't really been back since then. So it was good to kind of go back and refresh my memory of the place. So first up on our itinerary was a trip up Puijo Tower, which is an observation tower at the top of Puijo Hill. So this place opened up, or this tower opened up in 1963, and it stands at 75 meters tall and has a small cafe serving some Finnish treats at the top. So once you're at the top, you get really nice views of Kuopio itself, but you also get great views of the surrounding nature, like all the trees and lake area that surrounds, the Kuopio area there.
Walking home.
Another fun thing to see there are the ski jumping hills, which you can actually kind of walk under and see them really up close. So these are real working ski jumping hills, which I thought was pretty fun to see. So in Kuopio itself, there were a couple of things that we saw. So in the center of the city, there's a square that has this funky yellow building, which is the Kuopio Market Hall. And at least during the summers, they have this outdoor market place which sells fresh produce, baked goods, and all of the kind of special delicacies of the area. Most of them contain meat, so I didn't try them, but definitely if you are a foodie and want to try out the special foods of the area, that is the place to hit. It also has a fun little spot on the ground called muailman napa, so it's written like that because it's kind of like mimicking how the local dialect there sounds like, but it basically translates to the world's belly button, which kind of means like the center of the world. So yeah, I visited the center of the world. We also visited the Evangelical Lutheran Church. So this is the denomination of Christianity, which is the largest in Finland. And this particular church was finished in 1816, and it has a really pretty path leading up to it from the kind of the port area. And yeah, this path has like flowers and fountains, and at least in the summer when the weather's great, it was like nice to kind of walk down. Not that it's a really long path, but it was quite visually pleasing.
Wow. Incredible.
So yeah, as I kind of mentioned before, Kuopio is surrounded by lakes and water, so it's a great place to hop on an inland cruise to see some of the area by water. They have lunch and dinner cruises, or you can just hop on for the views like we did, so you can kind of see what Kuopio looks like from when you're on the water. A famous Finnish figure that lived in Kuopio is Minna Kanth. So she was a Finnish writer and social activist for women's rights during the mid to late 1800s. So for example, she kind of promoted equal opportunity to education for girls in Finland at the time, and she was considered like a wild radical at the time she was alive, because she was, a very hardcore, women's rights activist in Finland. She did write also a few Finnish classics that we read in school, at least I read in school. And so for example, Työmiehen vaimo is one, and Anna-Liisa is another one that just comes to mind. Here's just what some typical streets in Kuopio look like. So we also took a day trip to Koli, which is a hill in the Koli National Park, and it's located in Liaksa, which is near the eastern border. And the highest point there is 354 meters. So apparently some famous Finns got inspiration for some of their works here. People like John Sibelius, Juhani Aho, and Eero Järnfeldt. So we first of all, we drove quite up to the top, and then we took a funicular up all the way, or almost all the way, and there's this area there that has a hotel, spa, and they have some restaurants, cafes and stuff there, bathroom, and it's also where all the trails start. And there are various difficulties and lengths that you can kind of go for. So we started off on the shortest trail, and it hits three of the, kind of like the three highest peak or vantage points, and then so we hit those. So here's some footage from that. And then afterwards we kind of merged onto a different trail, which was a bit harder, and it had a very steep, and when I say very, it was an incredibly steep incline at the end, which was brutal to climb. But we did it, we made it to the top, and the views were absolutely stunning. And it's exactly that kind of scenery that comes to mind when you picture Finnish nature.
Woo! Top of Macra.
Hope you enjoyed this video, and that just about concludes this video. So till next time, kiitos!